This is the on and off button, and this is how it works.
That's the on and off button, and that's how it works.
Yeah.
Camera rolling.
Do I start now?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for everybody who came out to see me perform this evening. Yeah, by the way, it's Pam's birthday. Give it up. And I guess it's Sharon's birthday. Well, Sharon has... It's supposed to be Sharon's birthday party too, but usually around the time of her birthday, you're always doing something for battered women sheltered, right? Right.
Yeah.
Which means a lot to me because a lot of my friends batter women. And kaboom! So give it up. A lot of you people have dated Sharon and Pam, so give it up for them. Because they've given it up. Because they've given it up for you. Was that mean? I didn't mean to be. No. Okay. No, because you guys, because when I was, this is my second time in Cleveland. The first time I was actually staying in the airport because I got some bad advice. They said you could stay at Quicken Loans Arena because the cabs aren't using it. Or they said Progressive Field was a good place to sleep.
Hey, Boo!
I don't mean to bag on your teams. I'm a Raiders fan. You think this is... I love the Raiders so much I usually don't watch them play. So my... They
have treatment programs for
That's right. I went to USC. My team's been suspended. Reggie Bush just gave back his Heisman. Of course, he can't. He doesn't have to give back his Super Bowl ring, and they can't take the smell of Kim Kardashian from his fingertips. But they just told me I could. So I'm from LA. I can't tell. They told me you can't tell jokes here like you tell them in LA, because you have to say them in English. There's a difference. I had to tell jokes in Kentucky. I'm kind of proud to be from LA, so those people might be illegal, but at least they know when they can't speak English. Kaboom. At least they know that in English, 10 has one syllable. It's not tan. So anyway, I'm actually very lucky. Sharon and Pam, they invited me to stay with them before they heard me tell my jokes. But I like being here because people tell me I look like Drew Carey after chemo. And some people think I look like a serial killer, but I just play one on television. America's Most Wanted. I hate that show, especially when they get my name right. Kaboom! Because I was supposed to be on Dateline, but turns out they really hate it when you show up a day early. Well, I learned my lesson from the internet. You try to meet girls on the internet, they never look like their picture. You're thinking you're going to meet this really hot 14-year-old cheerleader? Oh. Is that gross? I meant 16. She should be able to drive herself home. And then you go to meet them, and they always end up looking like these 50-year-old FBI agents. Yeah, and they always have 4 friends who look just like them. Totally. But I don't like those dating shows anyway, because they're really sort of unrealistic. They have one called Eliminate, and the girls keep coming back. When I did my version, the girls didn't come back until the sequel, which I called Carbon Date. Kaboom.
He needs a snare drum.
Pardon? Yeah, I just have the kaboom. I do the kaboom because I'm really romantic. You need a drum. No, I'm really romantic, and a lot of the women I've been with, that's the last thing they ever hear. Oh my God. These are just jokes. Just kidding. Yep. It's weird because people, I was wearing these shorts. This is supposed to be my Jersey Shore look, but I wear this all over the country, and people, they say, Richie, aren't you cold? I said, no. Because I work for LA County, and those orange jumpsuits get so hot during the day. But it's okay, because my side of the freeway is completely clean. I'm allowed to be here. And they say, Richie, how'd you get such a great job with the county? He said, well, I used to be in phone sales. I just said, that's right, ma'am. For $10,000, you too can have your daughter back. No, it's fine. She doesn't remember a thing. No, because I figure if I'm with a girl, it's not all about me. If a girl's having a good time when she's with you, do you really need to wake her up?
Oh, God.
Kaboom. But I can only take so much responsibility. I only put the pills in her cocktail. I didn't tell her to drink it. Kaboom. So the
Oh, my God.
So I know I'm in Cleveland. I heard, oh my God.
You're here, baby.
I know, I'm loving it.
You're not in LA.
I'm loving it.
OMG.
Oh, there you
You're
go.
still in Cleveland. You're still hearing. Oh my God.
Or an LOL. I am.
Yeah.
I was gonna drive. No, the thing is, I was so great to pick me up from the airport. I used to write. I was writing jokes with my GPS on. And it's just a bad scene. You can't write jokes with your GPS because I'd say, "Who are all the ladies? Where are all the ladies at?" Because I know they're not in that mine shaft off the 101. And if they were, I'm not the one who put them there. Kaboom. No, that's not real. I'm just excited because I'm not violating any restraining orders, and I. Not near any. Yeah, not near any schools.
That you know of.
That's right. Or playgrounds.
There's always tomorrow.
I know, that's right. And I know there are a lot of Catholics here. Everybody knows somebody just like me. No, I was raised Catholic. Half
figure.
Yeah. Where I was. No, and everywhere, half the masses were in Spanish. The one time I was an altar boy, it was a Spanish mass. Can you imagine, if I'd known what the altar boy was saying, I could have been a millionaire. I mean, if I'd known what the priest was saying, I'm sorry. I would have become a millionaire. Kaboom. But that was, what's more fun to drive over in LA, because I've got a 1965 Ford Fairlane. It made me appreciate big women because they improved the traction so much. Well, no, well, it's not the only reason. It's just when you've got so many people in the trunk, it makes it much easier to find the car in a big garage. But kaboom! But I like skinny chicks. I like bulimics. It's important to know what's inside a person.
Oh, no. I'll squash you.
No, you're good. You're 2 more minutes, I'll tell you.
It's also great for the carpool lane. But
There we go.
kaboom!
I'm not supposed to shake the camera.
But I never got pulled over in that car. Leaned to one side, out of state plates, light bill, missing one tag for a while, light bill, headlights weren't set right. Never got pulled over. Thank God for racial profiling. And I can say that because a lot of my relatives were black. I'm German, which means a lot of my relatives were black when they came out of the oven. Talk about ashy skin. Oh my God. Oh no, and a lot of my friends that give me grief about that. They say, Richie must be the most insensitive person in the world. I said, that is BS, because some of my best friends are 10 times more racist than I am. I'm just in it for the paraphernalia and the car parts. I'm not racist. Even when I work in my own car, I say it was African American rigged. That's that's pretty PC. And that's when you're German, you can't be friendly. I can't say hi to my friends. Can't say I'll have one of these. Oh, she was about this tall. And then my Jewish friends, they give me crap. I say, you know, we were giving you crap just because you're paying for the sins of your father. Said, of course I'm paying for the sins of my father. My father was Jewish. He never paid for anything. Kaboom. Oh. I said, isn't your boss Jewish, German and Jewish? I'm German and Jewish. Who else was German? Remember Dr. Ruth? Yeah. She was German and Jewish. Do you remember Einstein? Yeah. He was German and Jewish. Dr. Ruth wrote Good Sex. Einstein wrote the theory of relativity. So remember, German Jews give you relatively good sex. Oh, thank you. It also means half my family makes the best cars in the world. The other half can afford them. I saw Saving Private Ryan, and I saw Inglourious Bastards. It's hard to watch those movies. Half of me is rooting for the Germans, the other half is rooting for the producers. I'm writing on my hand. I used to do triathlons. When they found out who I was, they threw me the marker and said, "Here, put the numbers on yourself." Oh. And then one guy was giving me grief. Well, no, he thought it. Because I was German, he wanted to complain about Jews. I said, well, actually, I'm half Jewish. And he'd say, oh, well, the Germans didn't really do that to the Jews, did they? They didn't turn them into lampshades and soap and wallets. And I said, you know, lampshades and soaps, I'm afraid it's true. But wallets, never. Could I imagine my dad as a wallet? I'd never get my money back out.
Kaboom.
Well, because my dad used to send me Holocaust videos. I said, what do I do with this? Is this a diet show or a cooking show? Kaboom. I'll take the groans. Oh, but the thing is, you know, has anybody heard of the Museum of Tolerance? No. Have you heard of the Holocaust Museum? Yeah. There's one in LA called the Museum of Tolerance. It's a really stupid name because they get so mad when I wear my SS uniform. I said, you aren't tolerant at all. And look at that. Have you seen all the pictures in the Museum of you know, this uniform, this Nazi uniform's in every picture. This is what put you on the map. And you keep acting like it was your idea. You didn't even pay for train tickets. Kaboom. Well, they know my background. I could wear the pajamas too. Why aren't they? This put you on the map. I said, don't you know? I mean, who remembers a Turkish uniform? Who remembers a Russian uniform? Who remembers the Buffalo Soldiers uniform? Everybody remembers the Nazi uniform. But you know the reason. But I understand now because people ask me if I'm conflicted because of my culture. I said, no, I'm not really. You know, when I think of all those well-dressed Germans and all those photogenic Jews, that's not a conflict. That's an Academy Award. That's teamwork. And that's important because victimhood is really competitive. Kaboom. Let me tell a funny joke. You know, because my mother died about 4.5 years ago. And people wonder, they ask me if she suffered before she died, and I always say no, because she never heard me do stand-up. And because of her, I had to start meeting women, because I knew my mom was in heaven watching me, and I got tired of her seat watching me touch myself. But you know, one thing I learned from trying to meet women, you know, like some women, they say they're so lonely, they wish they had a stalker. Turns out they're just kidding. Oh, that gets awkward. Well, it was weird because one girl, I paid her whole power bill. I mean, for like 6 months. Because I knew otherwise they were going to turn out. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to watch the webcam I installed. But I don't need to. I don't stalk women. Why would I need to stalk anybody when I just bought a $3,000 telescope? Honey, I've seen you shower. You're getting a bronze shaver for Christmas. Kaboom. Besides that, have you noticed that some women are all attitude? You know what I mean? They're always answering a question with a question. You go up to them and you say, how you doing? That's always, how'd you get in my house? Or, why are you following me? Or this is the one I can't stand. I know, they've got nothing to say. You put the sock out of your mouth, all you hear is Or they want to talk about work. They say, honey, I don't care how many Girl Scout cookies you sold. This.
Kaboom.
Kaboom. Is that gross? I know. I mean, carbohydrates are disgusting. I'm sorry. But wait, if Girl Scouts weren't supposed to be tied up, why do Boy Scouts learn to tie knots? Oh, that's right, to tie up other Boy Scouts. I forgot. Got to keep watching the news. Kaboom. I love women. I love them to death. It's just sometimes they get really clingy, you know, when they're hanging from an overpass. Or
Love them to death.
That's right. Or just some women, you know, they're always butting in every when they think stuff is over. I remember, you know, San Diego, I'll be walking with my new girl on the beach. My ex would just come ruin everything by washing up on shore. I hate it when people tell me there are other fish in the sea. No kidding. Who do you think put them there? Kaboom. You know, I just got certified as an EMT. Isn't that great? No, it's great. Well, because they give you lots of latex gloves. Because nothing ruins an evening out like fingerprints. And you're working with you're working with partners because you know a job is kind of hard to hold down, and so is she.
Kaboom.
No, being an EMT, that was just a van the girls hadn't seen me in yet. I couldn't use the ice truck. I couldn't use the ice cream truck every day. Except Monday. Did you hear about Monday in LA? I was there in LA. It was 113 degrees. It was so hot. I pulled the girls into the freezer with me. Is that bad?
That was wrong.
Terrible.
You look disgusted. I know.
But I love it. Keep going.
All right.
Going.
Thank you.
Yeah. You got it. You got
No,
my
you know, people
approval.
say, because I never know what kind of reaction I'm going to get. They say because people say, you can't get booked with this act. I said, are you kidding? I get booked all the time. I'm fingerprinted.
Seriously, with your Hawaiian shorts. It's my problem. You're in Cleveland, Ohio. Like,
Fluid, right?
What?
it
What? No,
will snow tomorrow.
No, it's all right. I'll be ready.
Tomorrow. He's dressed like he thinks like
No, I have
monkeys
autism. It's
and
fine.
Hawaiian shorts is gonna make it happen.
No, I have autism. I don't feel any of this. You can start making fun of me. You know, I'm just going to go outside and read my favorite license plates. It's fine. Maybe I'll just read the phone book. You know, especially if it's my favorite area code, I could just read it forever.
All right. Oh my God.
No, it's because I was diagnosed with this as a paranoid psychopath, but then I got ADD and it ruined it. It did, yeah. Now I can't hear the voices in my head unless they're screaming. And I was diagnosed with OCD. You know that is obsessive compulsive disorder. Yeah.
Right.
I wanted to come down sooner, but I had to touch all the carpets upstairs. My OCD. You think these jokes are bad? I've got to go home and say them 3 more times. I was at the VA. Pardon? En Spanish, en español, después. Lo hacemos. Well, no, I'll give you a Mexican joke. Because it's important to say you're Mexican because
I'm Mexican.
You are? No, I like it. Then I can tell them why I have 19 people in one room of my house. Have you ever wished you had every person you ever liked, every girl you ever liked in one room at the same time? After a few weeks, the smell is unbearable. But anyway, because they say, Richie, you've abandoned lots of people in the desert. What do you think about illegal immigration? I said, you know, I love those little illegal immigrant girls because before you put them in the trunk of your car, they always think they're going someplace better. Who knew trabajo could be such a great pickup line? Sí se puede. So, you know, people, because I'm German, they always ask me what I thought about Bush. You know, I always hated when people compared Bush to Hitler. So let's face it, Hitler was a veteran. Hitler brought the United States out of a recession. And when Hitler didn't like you, he told you, didn't wait for some bitch named Katrina to come do his dirty work. Kaboom. Do you remember Katrina? That was incredible. I never thought they'd sell out the Superdome, but they did. Kaboom. So, and then, people think because, well, I was a veteran, and I'm grateful to all the combat veterans because they make me that much scarier when I'm coming out of the VA. People say, don't make me not take these. And they say, well, Richie, if you support the troops, why don't you support the war? He said, I support arson. I mean, no, I support the fire department. Doesn't mean I support arson.
Kaboom.
Kaboom. Any Obama supporters?
No.
Okay. But you notice in the beginning, you notice a couple of times Obama was praising Reagan. He was pretty smart because Reagan was smarter than people gave him credit for. Reagan was hip. When Reagan was president, we weren't in Afghanistan, the Russians were. We weren't in Iraq, the Iranians were. So we sold weapons to Iran. They sent we gave the money to the Contras in Nicaragua. They sent the cocaine to LA. The Bloods and the Crips fought over it, and NWA wrote songs about it. And a new sensation was born. Let's give it up for Reagan, the father of gangster rap.
Oh!
Kaboom. These Tea Party people, I know any Tea Party people. No, they were.
Like Boston Tea Party?
Well, that's a new Tea Party people.
I like to drink tea.
You know with the Sarah Palin who writes stuff on her hand. You can't call people who write on their hand Republican anymore. I mean, can't call them retarded. You can only call them Republican. But anyway, they had these pictures during the healthcare thing. They had pictures of Obama as Hitler. I mean, really, if you thought Obama was Hitler, you would have voted for him. Kaboom.
It's also true.
Yes, and if Obama was Hitler, you'd already have your doctor. Might not be the one you wanted, but but you'd be taken care of, and there'd be no complaints. Women seem to change a lot. One time I thought this girl had lost 10 pounds. Turns out her head had just rolled under the front seat. Kaboom. All right. The thing is, I'm from, people, besides my looks, there's other reasons I tell these jokes, because people don't get the results of, women don't ask me to babysit anymore. Because I get those flyers that say, have you seen me? And I'd say, I didn't know it wasn't with all the little kids' pictures, I didn't know it was in a contest. When do I turn all the kids in? Because I think I've got enough for a new van. And the worst part of it, what's not really fair, then somebody comes up and says, well, we've been looking for this kid forever. So how am I supposed to know this? I'm just sitting here at Denny's having a grandson breakfast. These kids don't look, after a few months in your basement, they don't look anything like their milk carton pictures.
Oh.
Like I'm losing. Or women don't ask me to have kids anymore. I say, honey, a kid is a living, breathing thing, and you freak out when I show you just a piece of one.
Oh.
In formaldehyde. Kaboom. I was an anthropology major. After all so many years of taking bones out of the ground, this is just my way of giving something back. Kaboom.
And you must have been a pro wrestler.
Maybe I should have been. I wish someone would knock me out right now. This is harder than boxing. At least when you're boxing, you're unconscious when you're being humiliated. Kaboom. Well, sometimes women are just so super. Sometimes women just get phony. I just know. They change on you as soon as they find out your Rolex is fake or the gun isn't real. They start to complain. Oh, your closet's too dark. The handcuffs are too tight. Your urine tastes funny.
Good story.
Kaboom. And I'd say to and I'd say, I might, this gun might be plastic, but my feelings are still real. And when you run into traffic and start flagging down cars, I feel like you don't even like me. Kaboom. Actually, I wasn't on America's Most Wanted. I was in a show called, A&E show called Obsessed, about obsessive compulsive disorder, because I have a cluttering problem. And I've lost so many girlfriends because of it. But then when I find them, I forget which bags I put them in. Kaboom. It takes me forever to find things. Some girls think that's a turn up, but look, if it takes me this long to find my car keys, imagine how much time I'll spend looking for your G-spot. Anyway. Well, it's almost time to wrap up. And what to wrap up with, besides duct tape? Somebody told me the weirdest thing the other day. They said, Richie, you've got the body of a dancer. And I'm thinking, oh my God, how does everybody know what I've got in the back of my car? Kaboom. I'm Richie the C. Please forget you heard these jokes.